subdivision I'm in, and this is going to be layout update number 28. Before we hop into the layout update, we've got two big announcements. First announcement, I haven't been doing too much modeling. I've been doing a lot of rail fanning and taking Cam out. One of the reasons why me and Cam have been doing a lot of rail fanning is Sam needs her rest. We're expecting our second child. The due date is May 4th of 2023. We do not know the sex of the child yet. We will find out this month, December 21st. So we'll announce that when we find it out. So that is on the horizon. And the other big announcement is the channel has reached 1,000 subscribers, and I just want to thank all of you so much, because it's you, the viewers, that make this possible, that I make the videos. And it's just a really cool thing to reach 1,000 subs. I never expected to, and it's only because of you folks that watch the videos I make. So I would have kept going making videos either way. It doesn't matter to me, but I just want to say thank you to all of you. So with that being said, we're going to go down and work on the layout, pick up where we left off on the last update. We got to fill in a spot for the new rework track plan for the yard. So let's hop into that, and that's all I got to say. So let's go work on the layout, watch some trains at the end.
Alright, so I'm over here. This is the far left section of the layout where it comes out from underneath itself and starts, and it comes up and goes over around to the viaduct. You've seen in the last video that I changed the yard. Well, now the track comes out over a spot that there's no foam built up, because it originally wasn't meant to come over here. So what I'm going to do is build up some foam here and here, and then just lay a 1-inch piece across the top so I have my clearance for the track underneath, and then I can build it up. So I need to fill in this hideous gap, because this back wall was not square. The layout's square, and this wall starts to walk, because it's probably rough cuts in between the two houses. So with that, I came up with the idea of closing all the gaps off, and I got some spray foam, and we're gonna go ahead and spray it in there. Okay, I got a little carried away when I came down here tonight, and so I sprayed the spray foam in there, and it had rose up. You can see where it bubbled up to. So I just took the drywall saw and cut along with this, and then cut down along the wall, and then I just kind of broke it out of there. I'm gonna hit it with some sandpaper now to try to smooth it out a little, but it's more or less for support, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. But I'm gonna just try to hit it with some sandpaper quick anyway and see what happens. Alright, so you can see it got a lot nicer after I sanded over it. Excuse me. And now that gap's filled in. So basically what we're going to do is, this is just a scrap piece of foam, 2-inch. I'm going to cut pieces to fit in here. I want to hide this piece of wood, so it'll go up to here, and out to that line. And it's just going to be a support. We're going to build this up with the support over here, build it up with the support over here, and raise this whole section of the inner layout up to the same level as the yard there. So that is what this project is, and we'll be continuing along. Let me show you another thing here quick. So to give you a better idea, I had this piece of foam that was the old piece that went over on an angle, but it'll actually work for here too. I'll just have to cut the end down and splice a piece on to go over to the wall, but I'm fine with that, just so I don't have to cut another one of those angles, because that was a pain. So this piece is cut out, the track come out here now. I might have to cut that hole a little bigger, because as you can see, now it's going to be, focus in there and get some light. how much further to the plywood there. So I need to be able to reach my arm in here to clean the track. So I might make this hole a little bit bigger. It'll probably be hidden by scenery anyway. And I might paint all the foam inside here black. So that way if you look in here, it'll just be dark. And it'll be easy to hide with some scenery in the front. But that's down the road. So you can see now with that in place, what we're filling in here is this area, because this track is now sitting in the air. Alright, so I went ahead and cut foam 2 inch on the bottom, 1 inch there. 2 inch, 1 inch. I gotta cut now. I'm gonna measure the piece that's gonna fill in this whole area for the top level. These aren't glued in yet. I'm gonna glue them in. We're gonna cut all the pieces and fit it before we glue it. I think for the 1 inch to match up nicely up there, I'm going to have to put a piece of that foam board, the thin stuff, in between the two 1 inch pieces. So with that being said, what I did with these blocks is I cut them and then I take the sandpaper right away and sand them down so you don't have any like loose pieces of foam falling off later. Which this is all going to get painted black inside, as I mentioned earlier in one of the clips of this. But that's where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and measure and cut that piece. You can see I marked my lines for where the divider goes so I can glue these out tight. And that's where we're at. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get off camera, measure out that piece, and go ahead and cut it. And we'll see where we're at. So I went ahead and put in supports for that section too. So there's all the supports. I got my pieces cut here. So I'm going to go ahead and slide them in place and we'll take a look. Okay, and just like that is how it'll end up looking back here as we got the pieces cut and they are laid in there. I think I'm going to have to put a piece of foam board in there to raise it up. As you can see, it's kind of slanted down a little, so we'll fix that with a piece of foam board on this piece here in between. So I'll cut that. I also went ahead and cut this piece of the divider down, so I'll set that in place so we can get a better look. So you can see I cut the top down so it matches the divider that's already here. I'll have to cut my piece for the end yet, but if we come up top, you can see now that that whole corner will be filled in. Alright, so I cut the last piece and that's how the backdrop will end up looking on this side of the layout. You see those lines? That's where I'm going to put my wooden dowels. If you were here or have seen the video when I did the divider way back, probably 2 years ago, I used wooden dowels, you can see sticking up there, to run through the foam and then down into the foam base to make it more sturdier when I glued them in place. So that's what we're going to use to fasten these two together. I'll drill a hole in each side, put a wooden dowel in, glue it together, and that'll make it solid like one piece. Okay, so this is where we're at. This is all these pieces are glued in. This is glued in. The only piece that's got to go in yet is the top. Went ahead and painted all this in here black, so you'll see when we put it all back together, that should make it so you can't see in there, and that's exactly what we want because this is a dead area. Once it goes through the scenery, we don't want to be able to see what's behind here. You just want to look like it goes into darkness. So you can see I lifted the track up there and pulled this curve out so I could paint it so I didn't get paint on the track. Once this dries, we'll glue the top piece in, and all we have left to do is put in our divider sections. So we'll be back when it's 100% complete, but this is almost a wrap on this project. Alright, so everything's all glued in, painted. We are done 100%. So let's take a look, and we'll probably hop into a little bit of rail fanning, and we'll call it a quit for this video, and we'll be back with another update down the road. But as you can see, when we come down, you can't see in there at all. Even when I come down, if I zoom in here, get it to focus, you can pick up a little light through the plywood back there, but not much. That's exactly what we want. So that's this side. Let's go take a look from the other side. Okay, so we moved in towards the yard. And you can see we got a nice area to work with now. And I will be able to start planning on what I want to do from here all the way up. Well, I know what I want to do here, but I'll be able to get a better idea and start working on foam in that area. Start building up the landscape. And I have a few things to figure out with the yard tracks here, because I think I'm going to shorten the yard up because it kind of got lengthened when I added onto it. And I don't want the yard to be this big. So that is going to be in the next update. We're going to try to figure out this yard as well as start some of the landscaping for this section of the layout. All the way over to that corner. So that's where we're at. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And let's watch some trains run.